Hello, my name is Philip Taylor, and I'm going to give you an insight in what it's like to live as a homeless person. I was born in Nottingham in 1983 to my parents, Anne and Albert Taylor. My mother, she's a retired nurse, and my dad, he's a retired ambulance paramedic. When I was growing up in Nottingham, I had a loving experience. You know, my family was loving, they treated me with respect. I've got two brothers and I've got one sister. We all got along very well. I had nice Christmases, nice things. My parents wasn't well off, but they also wasn't poor, and there was a lot of love in the family. I was never abused or beaten or anything, but during my teenage years, I started to mix with the wrong sort of people, and I got into smoking a lot of hashish and drinking alcohol, trying to act the big man basically. But where everyone else learned to turn it off and stop the drinking and drug taking, I carried on. So as I got a little bit older, my decision was also my dad pushed me to join the army, the armed forces. So I joined the armed forces in 1999. I was a junior non-commissioned officer. Well, it's a lance bombardier, but it's the equivalent to a lance corporal in it. But yeah, I was a lance corporal. A good friend of mine, he got caught in an IED explosion, and when you're out over there, you write a death letter, which is a letter to your loved ones, explaining blah blah blah. But you give it to a very close friend of yours. So if anything does happen, God forbid, it's your responsibility to deliver that letter to their loved ones. And my mate Jonathan, when he died in an IED explosion, I had his death letter. So when I came back to the UK, it was my duty to take this letter to his wife. And while we was in Afghanistan, his wife gave birth to a little boy, and he never even met his little boy. So that hurt a lot, going to see his wife, handing her the letter, and I had little James, you know, and he never got to hold him, and that hurt a lot. First time I took drugs, like hard drugs, was when I got back, and I was back in my old estate where I used to live. I went round to see a friend, and he was smoking heroin in a spliff. And I said to him, "What's that?" He's like, "Heroin." And I said, "What's it do?" He says, "You know what it does." He says, you was over in Afghanistan, you've seen what it does. I says, "Yeah, but I want to try it and see what it does to me." He's like, "I'm not giving it you." But anyway, the guy went to the toilet and left the joint in the ashtray. So when he's gone upstairs, I've lit this joint and I've smoked it. And I don't know, the feeling that I got from smoking this heroin, it was like someone came up and wrapped a big ball of cotton wool around me, and I felt so relaxed. It felt like all my problems went away. I just felt so calm, no pressure, no worries. And I enjoyed the buzz. I did enjoy the buzz. On my life, my everyday life, because there was times where I couldn't get no heroin at the night time. So in the morning, I was waiting till the dealer would come on to get some heroin before I'd go to work. Obviously, I had a heroin habit to maintain, so I started begging, like begging on the streets. And at first, I felt so embarrassed because I felt ashamed, so to speak, lowering myself to that standard where I'd be sat on the floor begging. I actually felt ashamed at the time. But as the time went on, I ended up just not caring. As long as I ended up getting my fix, I didn't care.